Hello, Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's maths lesson. Now, as you know, yesterday we started a brand new maths unit looking at shapes, didn't we? And we started this maths unit by looking at the names of different 2D shapes. Now, today we are going to be carrying on with 2D shapes, but this time we're going to be counting their sides. Now, I know we looked at this a little bit yesterday because when you're trying to name a shape, sometimes you need to know how many sides the shape has. But today we're going to be building on that. But before we do, let's warm up our brains with our flashback. So here's your flashback for today. You have 3 questions. Question number 1, you need to name the shape. So think back to our lesson yesterday. What is this shape called? Then number 2, how many points do class 5 have? So have a look at the tally for class 5. How many points do they have in total? Then number 3, how much money is there altogether? Now there's a word here jumping out at me. It's the word altogether. When we're finding out how much there is altogether, do we do addition or subtraction? You need to decide, okay? So pause the video now and have a go at your flashback. Okay, Year 2, so let's go through the answers together. Well, number 1, we need to name the shape. Now, what shape was this? Oh, yes, look, it's upside down, but it's still a triangle, isn't it? So well done if you managed to spot that, even though it was upside down. Okay, number 2, how many points do class 5 have? Well, if we look at the tally for class 5, we can see that all of the tallies have this diagonal line through the last 4 tally marks. Now, what does that represent? Yes, that represents the 5th item, or in this case, the 5th point. Now, all of our tallies have this diagonal line going through them. So therefore, we can count up in steps of 5. And we need to count up in steps of 5 4 times. Are you ready? Will you tell me when to stop? Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, yes, you're right. I need to stop. I've counted 4 steps of 5 and I got to 20. Fantastic. So class 5 have 20 points altogether. Now, number 3, how much money is there altogether? Well, there are quite a lot of coins here, aren't there? So it's going to be quite tricky to keep the number in our head as we're counting on. So therefore, let's circle the 10 pence coins first. Now, how many 10 pence coins do we have? Yes, we have 3. So therefore, we can do 3 multiplied by 10. Okay, so are you ready to count with me in steps of 10 3 times? Okay, so 10, 20, 30. Oh, we've counted 3 steps of 10 and we got to 30. So there is 30 pence in 10 pence coins here. Now, what about the other 2 coins there? We have a 5 and a 2. Now, what is 5 plus 2? Yes, that's right. It's 7, isn't it? So now we have worked out how much in 10 pence coins and how many were left over. We can add these 2 amounts together. So we can do 30 plus 7. What is 30 plus 7? Yes, you're right. It's 37, isn't it? So therefore, there is 37 pence altogether. So well done if you got those right. Now let's move on to today's learning, where we are looking at counting the sides on different 2D shapes. So here we have a boy and he is telling us that he is looking for the hexagon. Now, if we think back to our lesson yesterday, what did I tell you was the way that you can remember how many sides a hexagon has? Well, yes, hexagon has an X in it, doesn't it? And what number has an X in it? Oh, yes, it's the number 6. So therefore, a hexagon has 6 sides. Now, there are some shapes here that definitely do not have 6 sides, so we can ignore those. But I'm going to start with the one underneath the speech bubble, the pink shape, okay? I know there's lots of pink shapes, but the one under the speech bubble. So I'm going to count the sides by drawing lines so that I make sure I don't count them again. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many sides am I looking for? I'm looking for 6, aren't I? So 4, 5. Have I missed any sides? No, I haven't. So this shape only has 5 sides. So this is not our hexagon. Now let's try the shape at the bottom, the pink shape, not the triangle, the other one. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have we got any more? No, we haven't. We have got 6 sides here. So therefore, we have found our hexagon that has our 6 sides. Okay, so now I've got one for you. I would like you to look for the octagon. Now, what did I tell you was the way that you can remember the octagon yesterday? Well, I remember that an octopus has 8 tentacles. So therefore, if an octopus has 8 tentacles, an octagon has 8 sides. So you're looking for the shape with 8 sides. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, year 2, so let's have a look. Well, we know that the two pink shapes that we've just looked at aren't octagons because one had 5 sides and one had 6 sides. So let's start with the shape at the top, the green shape. And we have 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides. Oh, whoopsie daisy, we do not have 8 sides here, do we? We only have 7 sides, but we're looking for an octagon which has 8. So let's try the pink shape underneath that, shall we? So we've got 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we've got 1 more side, which makes 8. So there we go, we have found our octagon, which has 8 sides, and we can remember that by thinking of an octopus that has 8 tentacles. Fantastic. Well done if you were able to spot the octagon. Now, we have just looked at a hexagon with 6 sides and an octagon with 8 sides. Now, we have a table here, and in some cases, we are missing the name of the shape. And in other cases, we are missing how many sides that shape has. So let's first of all have a look at the circle. Now, how many sides does a circle have? Well, it's just one round line, isn't it? So therefore, a circle only has one side. It's got one curved side. Okay, what about the next shape? So we've got the shape and we've got the number of sides it has. Now, what is this shape called? Can you remember from yesterday? Oh, yes, it was like in our flashback, but it's the right way up now. So this is a triangle. Okay, so we've got a circle with one side and a triangle with 3 sides. What about a quadrilateral? Now, a quadrilateral is a shape like a square or a rectangle. Okay, so we've got a square here and we're going to count how many sides this square, which is a type of quadrilateral, has. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. A quadrilateral has 4 sides. Okay, so any quadrilateral, whether it be a square or a rectangle or any irregular quadrilateral, will have 4 sides. Okay, so I would like to pause the video now and have a go at filling in the name for the shape with 5 sides and filling in how many sides a hexagon has. Okay, year 2. Now, how many sides? So the next shape has 5 sides. Now, what shape is this? Well, we can remember that we have 5 fingers, don't we? And what can we hold in our hand? Oh, yes, we can hold a pen, can't we? And we can hold our 5 fingers onto a pen. So therefore, the shape with 5 sides is a pentagon. Fantastic. Well done for remembering that from yesterday. Okay, what about a heptagon? Well, let's count how many sides a heptagon has. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have we got any more sides? No, we haven't. We've got 7 sides for a heptagon. So we've got 6 for a hexagon, and we had 8 for an octagon. We have 1 for a circle, 3 for a triangle, 4 for any quadrilateral, so a square or a rectangle or any other irregular quadrilateral. And then we have 5 for a pentagon and 7 for a heptagon. Now, if you ever need to know how many sides each of these shapes have, you can always come back to this slide. So here we have the question. Are all shapes with 3 sides triangles? So we've got a triangle here, and this is the triangle, the regular triangle that we saw yesterday. But we also have a triangle that looks like this, and a triangle that looks like this, and like this, and even like this. Now, we saw that first triangle in our flashback, didn't we? And that was still a triangle, wasn't it? So therefore, yes, all shapes with 3 sides are triangles. So therefore, all shapes with 4 sides will be quadrilaterals. All shapes with 6 sides will be hexagons, but these are just irregular versions of the shape. So yesterday we had the regular version that we saw just then before the other shapes were introduced, and these are all irregular. Okay, so they don't look like how we think of a triangle, but they are still all triangles because they all have 3 sides. So here we have some shapes. Now, we are going to look at how many sides these shapes have to work out what type of shape they are, because they are all irregular. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one with you. So this shape has 1 side. Remember, I'm drawing a line to make sure that I don't count this side again. So I've got 1 side, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have I got any more sides? No, I haven't. So I've counted all the sides and I have got 5 sides. Now, what shape has 5 sides? Remember, I've got 5 fingers. And what do I hold with my hand? Ah, yes, I can hold a pen in my hand. So therefore, my 5-sided shape is a pentagon. Now, it doesn't look like the pentagon we looked at yesterday, does it? But it's still a pentagon because it has 5 sides. It's just an irregular pentagon. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So this time we have got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Have I missed any? No, I haven't. Now, remember, a square has 4 sides and a rectangle has 4 sides. What was the name of the type of shape that has 4 sides? Ah, yes, it was a quadrilateral, wasn't it? A quadrilateral always has 4 sides, but this is just an irregular quadrilateral. Okay, now I would like to pause the video and have a go at working out what type of shape the bottom one is based on how many sides it has, because this is an irregular shape, but what type of irregular shape is it? Okay, year 2, so let's go through this together. So are you ready to count the number of sides with me as I cross them out? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have I got any more? No, I haven't. This shape has 6 sides. Now, what was a shape called that has 6 sides? Now, 6 has an X in it. What type of 2D shape had an X in it? Oh, yes, it was a hexagon, wasn't it? Fantastic. Well done if you were able to work out what these shapes were based on how many sides they are, because they are difficult shapes. They're irregular. They're not what we think of when we think of a pentagon or a hexagon, are they? They are irregular. Okay, now here we have some shapes, and I would like to know which of these shapes are hexagons. Now remember, a hexagon has 6 sides, doesn't it? Because we've got the X in hexagon and we've got the X in 6. So let's have a look at the first shape. So we've got the shape here and I've put a line through its first side. Now let's have a look at the second side, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and we've got one more side. So therefore, we've got 6 sides on this shape. So therefore, this shape is an irregular hexagon because it has 6 sides. So therefore, I can circle that shape, can't I? Now let's have a look at the next shape. So here we've got the orange shape, and I have put a line through the first side. Now let's put a line through the second and the next one. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. We have another shape with 6 sides. So therefore, year 2, this is also an irregular hexagon. So we can circle that as well. So now I would like you to have a go on your own and looking at the other 2 shapes. Are these shapes hexagons? Do they have 6 sides?